Welcome to our meditation time. It is an honor to get to spend these few minutes with you. And I hope that you can feel what an honor it is to get to spend them with yourself. Chances are you've spent lots of minutes today responding to the needs or the expectations or maybe even the demands of other people. But for these few minutes, all your attention is on you and your breath and your presence. So as you settle in and your eyes begin to gently close if they're not already, I would invite you just to find a calm and nurturing rhythm of breath. Be compassionate with yourself as you breathe. Be compassionate with yourself as you sit. And be compassionate with yourself as those little flutters come into your mind and try to distract you. It's not an accident that this is called your meditation practice. We just keep showing up. We practice sitting. We practice breathing. We practice being. Until eventually, our practice becomes just about second nature. And all the other things have lots and lots less influence in our lives. So as you're settling in, as I am settling in, it is the 21st of September. The United Nations designated today a while back to be the International Day of Peace. This idea arose from the conflicts and the crises that we see around our world on an everyday basis. And it became this global commitment from the United Nations that on September 21st, we'd pause and we reflect on what are we each doing individually and collectively to bring peace to this world. And so let's just start right here with the breath. Find a compassionate breath that brings peace to you. Calms all those rough edges of the day, lessens the intensity of the emotions of the day, and helps you almost physically feel what the peace feels like. And then as we have this International Day of Peace, someone decided globally that September the 21st should also be World Gratitude Day. A day, again, that we pause and we remind ourselves of the things that we're grateful for. A day to pause, a day to appreciate, a day to think. And I do not think it is an accident that World Gratitude Day and the International Day of Peace happen at the same time. And what I would challenge us with tonight as we sit here together is to use a gratitude practice to cultivate peace. We're going to go just through a few different things together. We're going to start with the things that are so obvious, maybe even just so simple, but they still deserve our recognition. They deserve our gratitude. And then we'll move into some things that might be just a little bit bigger. And then we'll move into some things that may not be as obvious. But what I'd like us to do is, just as we practice meditation, let's practice gratitude. And let's just see if it can serve as this vehicle, individually and collectively, in this cultivation of peace. So just take a long, slow breath in and a full breath out. And a slow breath in and a full breath out. Breathing in, I am grateful for the breath. Breathing out, I'm grateful for the breath. One more time, breathing in. I'm grateful for the breath. And breathing out. I'm grateful for the breath. And then let's just pause right here and let the breath continue to come and just reflect where you each are about the magnitude of the power of breath. Beyond the oxygen, beyond the lung capacity. Think about the tool that it is when your emotions become triggered, or when your frustration gets activated, or when you feel fear. And all of a sudden you go back to the slow breath in and the full breath out, and everything shifts. So let's just pause and marvel at the gift of breath. And then I would invite each of us to think about one thing in nature that brings you the most joy. From the flowers in your garden, to the vegetables that you grow, to the animals that you interact with, just the clouds, the moon. Just imagine one thing in nature that when you pause and you think about it, you can feel the smile kind of come to your face, or this lightness come to your spirit. And so I want us just to send our gratitude there. I'll say mine as I breathe in and out, but I invite you, say yours. What are you grateful for? What gift in nature can you extend gratitude toward? Breathing in. I am grateful for the song of the birds every morning. Breathing out. I am grateful for the song of the birds every morning. Breathing in. I'm grateful for the song of the birds every morning. Breathing out. I'm grateful for the song of the birds every morning. And whatever your thing was in nature, just sit here and let's just picture it. I can see those birds that I watch every morning, those sounds that I've begun to recognize, the movement in the trees above my yard. I can see it, and I would invite you, see whatever your thing is in nature that you are grateful for. Visualize it. Sit with it. And then I would ask you to shift your gratitude toward a relationship. Maybe it's one that has been with you for a long time. It's consistent. It's steady. Maybe it's a new relationship. Maybe it's one that you lost along the way and now it's come back. Maybe it's one that you've lost along the way and it hasn't quite come back yet. Maybe it's someone that's already passed away physically from this life, but the relationship is still so incredibly important to you. So I'd invite each of us, picture that person. See the value that that relationship gives. And as you picture them, let's breathe in. I'm grateful. And see their face. And breathe out. I am grateful. And see their face. And breathe in. I'm grateful. And see their face. And breathe out. I am grateful. And see their face. And let's just pause and let that face stay right there in your mind's eye. And notice when you picture it, what it does. Like I feel my heart swelling. It's like I feel the joy just bubbling up. Notice what you feel when you see that face. And then I want to take us on one more journey into this cultivation of gratitude in our lives. And it's the one that I started off with when I said it's a little less obvious. We all walk really difficult paths. We all have challenges. We all experience suffering. It's really easy in the midst of those times to look around and think, why me? Why now? Why this? So I would invite you, and I will do the same, think, and it won't be very hard for most of us, think about a challenge, a crisis, a type of suffering that you're going through, that you're experiencing right now. Just one. For some of you, or some of us, it's something that's been with us for a little while. For some, it's today. But whatever the situation is, just picture how it has taken a foothold in your life, what that's looked like. And then I would like for each of us just to reflect on the emotions that come alongside it. The frustration, the anger, the fear, the disappointment, the sorrow. Just name them. Honor the fact that you are an emotional being. Name the emotions that you feel related to that struggle. And then we're going to turn our gratitude there. There's a tradition in meditation where there's a type of meditation you can do, and you can send loving kindness to someone that you're struggling with. You send loving kindness to a person where there's discord in your relationship, and it's a practice that is intended to shift. Not necessarily shift them, but shift how you see them. And so I'd like for us to do the same thing with that challenge, with that struggle, with that suffering. And so we'll breathe in just a few times, we'll breathe out, and we'll each just name our thing, whatever it is, and say that we're grateful for it. And you don't have to necessarily believe right now in this second that you are grateful for it, but let's practice and see how speaking the gratitude toward it, toward what it's teaching us, toward what we're learning about ourselves through it, let's see if we can shift our perspective of it. So after I say, I am grateful, let's just each fill in whatever our thing is. Breathing in, I'm grateful. Breathing out, I'm grateful. Breathing in, I am grateful. Breathing out, I'm grateful. Breathing in, I'm grateful. Breathing out, I'm grateful. The one thing I want to assure each of us is when struggles come and suffering is at our door, sometimes we feel like maybe our practice was not as real or as strong as we thought that it was. We get this imposter syndrome, that's this new contemporary term that we have in our world, and we start to think, has everything that I've practiced just been for naught? But I would encourage you, within this human existence, this human experience that we're all having, your meditation practice goes with you into those situations. What you learn in these moments stays with you then. We're not immune to those things. Our practice teaches us awareness, and at the same time, when you're experiencing these sufferings, be aware of how you feel. Don't discount it. Don't push it aside. Don't be ashamed of it or feel guilty by it. Be aware. Be aware that your heart breaks. Be aware that you feel sorrow. Be aware that you get frustrated. But I will assure each of you, and I will reassure myself, that what I've learned along this journey is that when the suffering comes, I feel all those things. But the time that those feelings persist has gotten shorter and shorter. Even when the suffering feels like it's getting bigger and bigger. My sadness, my frustration, your anger, your fear, it doesn't discount what you do when you show up for meditation. Everything you do here goes with you. And so let's be grateful for all of it. All the messy parts of life, as well as the time when life is calm and peaceful. So again, it's no accident that on the International Day of Peace, we celebrate gratitude. And so I'd like for us to sit for this last moment together, and let's be grateful for the challenge. Grateful for what we're learning about ourselves through it. Breathing in, I am grateful. Breathing out, I am grateful. Gratitude turns what we have into exactly what we need. Namaste.